Jesse?
We're starting. You're on.
Okay, we're on. Here we go, everybody. It's time for another quarantine edition of Live from Studio M. I'm Jonathan Sutton. I'm here at the Triple M offices in Madison, and we're heading out to New York. I think they're in New York. For three guys that are, even if you're not a musician or you don't know who they are, plenty of people know who they are as they've now traveled the world. They will inspire you to do whatever, because I think they're secretly aliens, because their story is insane to me. It's AJR. We've got Adam, Jack, and Ryan. Gentlemen, hello.
Hello. I'm wondering why would we be aliens? Just because we have a crazy story means we're not from the Earth.
Well, because here's the thing. All right, you guys are still young gentlemen. I mean, I know you're maturing and everything, but like you seem to have a good head on your shoulders. You're confident. You seem to have gotten far without having illegal pictures of people or something. I don't know. Your success story, I know it's like a 15-year journey, but it's still amazing. Like, I'm waiting for the dirt, and I'm not finding any.
I know, it's actually funny. We actually talk about that. Usually there's some sort of like connection that you have, or dirt literally that causes you to get ahead. But it's been like the slowest grow of all time, literally 15 years, just day by day, fan by fan, which is definitely common, back in time when bands were kind of just cutting their teeth, that's the phrase, right? Yeah, cutting their teeth, doing the small clubs. And nowadays it's easy to just have overnight success, but we're one of the few bands that doesn't have that to an extreme. So it's interesting.
Right. So let's before we hear some music, let's back up. A lot of people know this story, but there are plenty who don't. You're three brothers living at home, and you decide, because you're young still, right? Who was the youngest? Jack, are you?
That's me, yeah.
Yeah. So when you started the band, I mean, how old were you?
8 years old.
Okay. So was this just like a cute thing that you would do for families in the living room during Passover? Like, what was it?
No, not we. I mean, we did do the family thing, but not at all, actually. We actually took it pretty seriously from the start. We really wanted it, and so we decided to start street performing in New York City, where we grew up. So every single day for 6 or 7 hours a day over the summers, we'd go out to Washington Square Park and put down a hat and just sing karaoke's. And eventually we saved up enough money to buy a Pro Tools setup and a microphone and all that stuff to actually start making music seriously. So from the very beginning, it was a lot of work.
Well, I have a buddy who lives in Brooklyn Heights, and he's my age, early 50s, and he's, not a musician full time, but he can play guitar and things, and he'll sometimes say like, I might venture out to the subway tonight. This is pre-pandemic. Mm-hmm. And I might play for a little, but it's nerve-wracking. And this is a grown man. At that time, when you guys were so young, was it less scary because you kind of didn't give a crap, or was it? Yeah. What was that like?
It was the most nerve-wracking thing we've ever done. Mm-hmm. We were incredibly nervous, but honestly, it taught us such a valuable lesson that I think most bands never get to learn, which is how do you intrigue people that don't know who you are? How do you say, oh, I play this certain chord progression, I sing in this certain way, and it makes people turn their heads. And I think we learned that from a very young age, and then we were able to carry that on. When we started opening for people, we're like, oh, when we do this on stage, it will intrigue people that don't know who we are. And now we're enjoying it even more, because when we go play these big shows, everybody obviously knows who we are that's coming to the show. So it's like that much more of a payoff.
And Adam smiles and nods. Are you kind of always the quiet one in this situation, Adam? Okay, perfect. So did your parents, though, did they play instruments at all, or were they musical?
Not even a little bit. Our mom, no. Our dad is very tone deaf, so we definitely didn't get the singing from him. The only thing that he contributed was just introducing us to music that we loved. He would obviously, like every other musical family, he'd have his record player on all the time, and we fell in love with the Beach Boys and Simon and Garfunkel, which were like his favorite artists at the time. So that just taught us how to harmonize and how to write catchy melodies. So that was his contribution.
So did they, what were their day jobs? Nothing entertainment at all, or creative even? Or are they like an actuary and
Not really, kind of. I mean, my dad's an architect, and my mom was an architect, and then she went off and started her own tutoring company. She does a few different things. So, but nothing actually in the arts.
Okay. And so as far as when you were in school at the younger age, were your friends into you were doing music? Did they know you were doing music, or you have no friends? What was it like?
No, so I mean, it's more than what you just said. We got made fun of a lot. It was mainly like there was a lot of bullying going on with it. I don't know, just because of kids that age. There were a few clubs that were actually started, which were like what were they called in school? Actually, like the make fun of AJR club after school, and teachers would actually be there and as like a chaperone, as like the legal chaperone, just to witness what was happening. Kids would get in the room and there would be a sign on the door and they would just like make fun of our music videos all day. And so that was kind of the climate. We had a few friends that would come to the shows and be like, this is awesome, man. And now it's like a really interesting feeling to see them reach out of the woodwork. That's always a fun thing.
But that kind of taught us, like, just follow your own compass. Don't look to everybody for approval. What's that going to do for you?
Wait, is that true about that they would have a make fun of AJR club? Seriously?
It wasn't even in disguise or anything. It was literally, that's what it was called.
The anti-AJR club.
Anti-AJR club, yeah. And there were members, man. There were a lot.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. So, but see, this is where I'm like just so amazed that you guys are so centered. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this artist, J.S. Andara. I don't know if you know him or not.
No.
But so he's just real quick. He's from Nairobi, and when he was a kid there, he heard Guns N' Roses singing Knocking on Heaven's Door and thought they wrote it. Someone told him it was Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
He then became obsessed with Bob Dylan, moved from Nairobi to Minnesota because that's where Bob Dylan was from, with just some poems in his hands. And he ended up getting a record deal, and he's starting to make a mark in music. But like I kept also thinking like he's an alien because he was very young and just already so centered. And it seems like you guys just really, not to be corny, but have your feet on the ground and are so centered. And I don't know, like, does that just come from your upbringing, or that you're all together and support each other? Or where does it come
from? First, thanks so much. That's actually a really, really nice compliment. And not at all. I think that you're going to find that the people who really don't have their feet on the ground are the people who have the overnight success, that it comes all at once. We literally had to go day by day. If you learn something really slowly and painfully, you'll be really good at remembering what it was like before you had all of it. We're honestly, most majority of us is stuck back in that time, honestly. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday. So we're not, shrouded in fame and glory and money. That's just not who we are. We'll always remember that time.
Yeah. Your music videos are so enjoyable, and they're all so different, and you guys are really in charge of them, right? It's all your babies, right?
Yeah, we come up with pretty much all the concepts for the videos and implement all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just such a pleasure to watch them. People got to go and, you watch one and it's fun. You watch another one, it's so heartfelt. And there are a lot of different styles, animation and all that. It's a lot of fun. Do you all come up with the concept, or
I think it's just random. I think it's random. If we have a song that we're going to make a video for, it could be me sitting down and like, oh, I have a great idea. It could be Ryan, anything.
I think while we're making music, we try to think very visually, because whenever we're making music, we think, okay, what are the visual, whether it's for tour, what's going to be going on around us, or the lighting, or for the music video, the visuals and audio go hand in hand for us.
Okay, let's hear some music. What do you want to do for us first?
What do you want to do? We have a couple songs.
Sober Up?
Yeah, let's do Sober Up first. We'll do our songs.
All right.
All right. Ryan's going to get on the piano. Adam's going to...
Rivers is not there, is he?
How cool would that be if he just appeared? If we were quarantining together, that'd be so random. Adam's just situating the camera here.
Okay.
Now you see us? All right, ready? Ready. Won't you help me sober up? Going out can make me now, and I wanna feel something again. Won't you help me sober up? All the big kids, they got drunk, and I wanna feel something again. Won't you help me feel something again? How's it go again? I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I hope that you're missing me. This makes me feel young. And hello. Last time that I saw your face was Jesus in second grade. It made me feel young. Yeah. Won't you help me sober up? Growing up, living now. And I want to feel something. help me sober up of the big things they got through. And I want to feel something again. Won't you help me feel something again? How's it go again? Goodbye. I said to my bestest buds, we said that we keep in touch, and we did our best. All my new friends, we smile at party time, but soon we begin to smile at anything else. Yeah, won't you help me sober up, rolling up, let me down, and I want to feel something again. Won't you help me sober up all the biggies they got done, and I wanna feel something again. Won't you help me feel something again? How's it go again? My favorite girl is you. You're vibrating at my frequency. My favorite girl is you. You keep me up and that's so I wanna be. My favorite girl is you. You're vibrating at my frequency. My favorite girl is you. You keep me up and that's so I wanna be. Hello, hello, but now where I'm supposed to be. I know that you're missing me. It makes me feel young. And hello, hello, last time that I saw your face was Jesus in second grade. It made me feel young. And I wanna feel something again. I just wanna be again. How's it going, Dad? Well, it's so rough, going out, baby, now, and I wanna feel something again. You help me so rough, all the big things they got through, and I wanna feel something again. You help me feel something again. I just wanna feel something again. How's it go again?
All right. AJR. So why don't you introduce me to the uninterested fan right there?
She is actually, this is our dog Shay, and you know, we've trained her from a young age to like love music. We made sure that whenever we were playing music in our house, she was there. So when she got older, she'd be okay with music. And now whenever we start playing, she comes in the room and gets up on the couch and just lays here. So it's really sweet, actually.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
is it Shay as in like Shea Stadium or no?
No, it's Shay. That's a common mistake. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So is this mom and dad's place or your place or where are you right now?
No, we're actually out in Long Island for the summer. We rented just a house here. We've been in New York for the last bunch of months, and we've all been separated. Ryan and I have been in our own place, Adam in his own place, and our parents. And so we all decided to, like quarantine for 2 weeks inside and then meet each other all at this house. So we're all together now.
So were you guys in the eye of the storm then during the pandemic in New York? You were right in the middle of it?
We couldn't have been more in the eye of the storm because Ryan and I just moved out, but we lived in an area called Union Square. And for some reason, that's where everyone that, had the virus clearly and didn't care about it would congregate. For some reason, literally, you'd walk out the door and there'd be just masses of people that didn't care. So we figured let's get as far away from this area as possible.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Adam, can you come back in, Adam?
Here, flip that around.
Did you like my camera work?
It was great, man. I did want to talk to you a little bit about, saving the world and things. I feel like that's like also on your list, right? That's a little bit on the agenda. You have some organizations and things that you work with that that I thought we could talk about a little bit more. I mean, Shay is interesting, but I thought some of the work that you're doing, if you wanted to talk a little bit about that, making you talk, Adam.
Of course. For the last 12, 15 years that we've been doing this, I've stayed in school. So while we've been on the road, I did my undergraduate degree, I did my master's, and now I'm, I don't know, about 6 months away from being done with my PhD. And
have you been saying that for 2 years, or?
I keep wanting to be almost done with it, but I've actually written all but 2 chapters now. So I'm actually almost done.
A PhD in?
International Human Rights Law and Sustainable Development. And it sounds really complicated and annoying, but think about it this way. I'm looking at a few different cases around the world. There's a wind farm in Kenya that's going to bring clean electricity to millions and millions of people, which is amazing. But at the same time, it's going to kick thousands of people off of their land. So how do you reconcile the two? So simply, that's what I'm working on. I do a lot of work with the UN and with my own nonprofit that I run to help kind of push these messages of sustainability. But it's a really complex world. I mean, COVID kind of interrupted a lot of things, and the social protests that are going on right now are really helping to move the world forward in what I think is a positive direction. So everything's interconnected, and I'm going to continue working on this at the same time as AJR.
Well, so don't be modest. Tell us about your nonprofit.
It's called Sustainable Partners, and I started it about 2 years ago. And it's all about making the connection between individuals, businesses, and making real policy change. So many people come up to us at meet and greets and even on the street saying, I don't know what I can do to help. I mean, I've seen the picture of, you know, the turtle with the straw up its nose. I know I'm not supposed to use plastic straws, but there is so much more that we can do. The number one thing you can do this year is vote, and vote for somebody that is looking to make a difference in the environmental space. And that doesn't just mean the president. Your senators, your representatives, all of them have agendas on the environment, and you can look up any of those online and see who the people you should be voting for are.
Well, and it's so true. I think with voting, people always think about the president, but there is, I mean, even going down to, you know, your school board members and everything, sometimes that even has more of an impact on your life than the president does.
Absolutely. States have their own policies about climate change. I mean, in New York, they're building a bunch of wind farms and solar farms off the coast of New York City, and that's all done by the state. So, I mean, I honestly, I don't know who my local city council person is, and you probably don't know who your local city council person is, but even looking that up and voting for somebody that has an agenda that you agree with, that actually can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Jack and Ryan, you guys, are you still kind of sort of in school at Columbia, or not so much?
Not so much right now. So yeah, that was kind of a complicated situation. So Ryan did his first 2 years at Columbia. I only did my first semester, and then we took some time off to kind of open on some tours. Then after some success, we had our own headline tour, and then we came back to Columbia and did another semester each, sort of like half and half. 1, to write the album and to get inspiration from friends and social life and all that stuff. And then 2, because we just wanted to do something else. And so we did that. And then after we put out Neo Theater, our album, which is the album we made there, it kind of blew up and we went back on another tour. So I'm not sure if we're going to end up going back or going to another school. It's something that we really like to do. We have a big film background, so we were both film students there. So we just love learning in general. So maybe at some point we'll re-enroll.
Well, and I feel like I had seen an interview or read where you guys talked about when it comes for the inspiration of your music, a lot of people are like holding themselves up somewhere to write music, or they're on the road writing music, but you guys like to be in real life to write music.
Yeah, the best ideas we've ever come up with are from, I mean, for instance, like Week, our song, which was one of our biggest hits. I think we were standing in a dorm room and said, like, what kind of song would that kid that's up on the table, want to be dancing to? Like, what AJR-ish version of a song would he want to be dancing to? And then we're like, okay, this is kind of a cool idea about being weak, but in the context of a party song. So that's how that came up. And a lot of the other big songs that we've had have been the exact same way. Walking down the street and seeing something, or in a party, or in a movie, not pulled up.
Right. Okay, now since I'm in the building, there's one thing I wanted to show you real quick that I thought you would enjoy, Jack. I gotta run down the hall. Nobody's in our building anymore.
This is like Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, totally. But I thought you would like this. So we usually have the bands come here, obviously, for sessions, and they come sign our wall.
Yeah.
And I know when you guys were in Madison last time, you weren't able to come, but hopefully you will. But anyway, what I wanted to show you that I thought you would like, I can do this right. Can you see that?
Oh.
Songs of Wayne, man.
Oh my God, they're our favorites.
Yeah, and they were, I'm so sad with Adam Schlesinger. It's just
seriously.
Unbelievable that he passed, that's all just crazy. But so they were here probably 3-4 years ago or something. And they've had a big influence on you, right, Jack?
Yeah, and all of us, I mean, especially Ryan and I for songwriting, their album Welcome Interstate Managers, obviously, which was their big album with Stacy's Mom and then a bunch of other great songs. That's kind of the basis on like the songs that we like to write and our inspiration. What they did that's so cool is they made an album about something so, theoretically not exciting, which is just plain suburban life and hanging out with your friends while your parents are in Fire Island and chilling in your front lawn, which is like theoretically not so exciting, but they made it so emotional that you actually start crying and laughing in the same song. And we're like, are they magicians? Like, how did they do that? So we thought that was so interesting. So that's kind of the mindset we have when we write. We say, how can we make someone go like, haha, like once, and then like 3 seconds later actually start crying and realize something about their childhood and then go back to laughing. That's what they did as songwriters so incredibly well. So we love those guys.
Yeah, Dear Winter, I get that feeling with that for you guys.
Perfect, yeah.
Laughing and crying, it's a beautiful song too. You guys are just really impressive and a lot of fun. And as I'm the music director, so there's not a lot of songs that first listen you like want it on the radio, but for a lot of yours, that's just like right away. It just makes you feel good instead of having to listen to it a bunch of times.
Right. Thanks so much. Wow.
Some of them suck. I mean, they're not all great, but
it can't be all good. Come on, yeah.
But so do you guys? A couple more questions, then we'll hear a song. We'll let you go. But is this more than you dreamed it would be, or you like have a long range game plan? The three of you, like, we're doing this, and then we're going to move on to this, or like, what's? It's almost the old corny question of where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah, we do have a plan.
Yeah, I think that we want to stay as creatively stimulated as possible. Every album we make, we try to make kind of pretty different from the last one and keep it AJR, but try to experiment as much as we can. And so I think our plan is definitely along those lines to write a Broadway show, to score movies, to write a TV show. And we're already working on a lot of that stuff, but I think all of that stuff stimulates us creatively and provides new challenges, which is what we really like.
Are you guys friends with Lil Dicky?
No, we're not. We actually have never met him before, but why do you ask?
I don't know. Because he's got, maybe just because all of us are Jews here, but it just seems like it's the same. He's got that same kind of different vibe of looking at things in a different way and turning things upside down like you guys do. I don't know.
Yeah, we love him. He's so smart. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. And then last thing that I had seen, and is it really true that really what helped boost your career was that you were seen on Twitter by Sia? Is that a true story or not really?
Oh, no, that's 100% true. We had our song I'm Ready like 7 years ago or 8 years ago now. And we had no connections in the industry. So Ryan wanted to tweet the link out to as many celebrities as he could think of. So we did 100 celebrities, and Sia was the last one he did. She ended up retweeting it and saying, come meet me in my hotel tomorrow, let's talk. And she loved the song and introduced us to who's now our manager, which made us sort of like explode,
So who else did you send it to, Ryan? Everybody? Like
Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus. Yeah,
it was every celebrity I could think of.
Wow. Yeah. So did anybody else answer? Nobody else answered.
No one, just Sia.
Wow. That's incredible. It's inspirational, man.
I know, it's cool, right?
Yeah. Let's one more and then we'll let you go. Thanks for spending some time with us. What do you want to wrap with?
We'll do our single Bang.
Great. Oh, wait. Did you already start? Can I? Is this when I introduce this song on the radio? I say that this is your take on what 2020 is. But let's go out with a bang. But I imagine that's not really where it came from.
It weirdly fits with 2020, but no, we wrote it about kind of growing up and becoming an adult.
Got it. All right.
I get up, I get down, and I'm jumping around, and the compass must have comfortable now. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time time to grow. So I got in the bar, in the cross from the bar, working right in my fridge till I'm not feeling grow. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song, everybody go bang. You just go out with the bang, 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 bang. When we're too young to lie, forever I'm way too hard to try, so whatever can bang. Let's go out with the bang, 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 bang. Feel like I'm gonna because my taxes are two. Do my best to begin with the one or a two. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to grow. Man, I'm up to something. Woody-la-dee-do, thank you all for coming. I hope you like the show, cause it's on the budget. So woody-la-dee-do, yeah, come on, here we go, yeah, come on.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song, everybody go bang. Just go out with the bang, 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 bang. I'm way too young to lie, forever I'm way too hard to try, so whatever your name. Just go out with the bang, 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 bang.
Here we go.
Bang, bang.
Nice, you guys. Thank you so much, Adam, Jack, Ryan. Take care, and Shay.
Thank you.
Thanks so
for
much,
coming,
man.
Shay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Bye.